Okay, y'all, I am super late doing my budget this month, but it is never too late to get organized. The beginning of this month was really jam packed with me getting the girls ready for their first day of school. So I really didn't have a chance to sit down and talk to my husband and write out the budget for the month of August, which is why we're going to do it now. So we are about a week into the month, and I usually would write out my budget the week before the month actually begins. So this means that some things have already cleared and posted to my account because they are on auto pay, and I will be just updating my budget planner to match what has already happened in my bank account for the first week of August. But I still wanted to talk with you throughout this process because I believe that there are so many times that we will miss a deadline, we will miss a time frame, and we will want to complete something and then we will decide that it's not worth it because we missed that deadline. It can still benefit you to do it, especially even if it is your budget. Do it late. Even if you are like me and you haven't looked at your numbers yet, let's pull out our planners and we can go ahead and do it together. So I'm going to start off with my monthly calendar. My monthly calendar is the most important thing in my budgeting process because this calendar really helps me to see my deadlines, what bills are due, what things have already cleared my account, and I will mark off my paydays. So I like to use these colorful dots that I have within my shop. I will link them in the description box, but I use them in order to mark off the different weeks and to mark off what paydays are going to cover what weeks. And so this helps me to stay on top of all of the different things that are coming out of my account and when they will possibly post to my account. So this calendar is the number one thing that really does keep me on track. And this is the moment that I realized that this flower was going to get in the way of me adding in the fourth week. So we're going to move this. And the stickers that I'm using are really, really old. They are from Happy Planner, but they are from years ago, probably 5 or 6 years ago. This is the flower sticker book from Happy Planner. So I am pretty sure that they don't sell it anymore, but I am on a mission to use all of the old stickers that I have in my collection before I buy any new ones. So I have been using these for the past year. I am trying to stay as conscious as I possibly can about my spending. So the other thing that I keep on my sidebar in my budget planner is any events that are going to cost me money that are going to come up this month. So anything else that we end up doing, like family fun events, we usually will do some type of family event together every single week. And so I will mark off the different events that we decide to do together and how much that's possibly going to cost us so that I can make sure that I have all of the costs of all of those events within my monthly budget. Now, whenever I am late with setting up my budget, I do have some methods that I have in place to help me to manage our money in that in-between time. The first thing that I always do is limit my discretionary spending. Because I know I have not set up my monthly budget, I will keep our spending to a minimum until I can get to that budget. Even with our back to school spending, I knew we had to do our back to school spending, but I already had that set up as a sinking fund. So since it was set up as a sinking fund, I knew exactly how much I had set aside for back to school expenses, which means that I wasn't using my debit card. I wasn't pulling from my checking account. I had money in my cash envelope set aside for this particular expense, and I was just pulling from that money and just subtracting as I went. But limiting my discretionary spending means that I don't end up spending a whole bunch of money and then having to backtrack to figure out how I'm going to have to pay bills in the future. I try and keep our spending as low as I possibly can. And the second thing that I will do is anytime I do have to spend money, if something comes up and I absolutely have to spend money, I will use as much cash as I possibly can. I will try and go to the ATM and pull out cash instead of me just swiping my card, because this will help me to not overspend. It will help me to really stay on top of how much we are spending in that in-between time, and I won't have to worry about all of the transactions that have hit our account and I didn't have a budget in place. So these two things I believe will really help you. Spending cash will help you to have a better hold on how much you're spending in that in-between time, and limiting your discretionary spending means that you won't end up spending too much. So the last thing that I do on my monthly budget is I check off everything that has already cleared my account. I usually will do that with a red pen, and then I will highlight all of the other events that are coming up. So we have things that are not bills, like our family event. We're going to Jam Nola, and we also have a dentist appointment for the girls. And those two things, I know I'm going to have to spend some type of money because I know I will have a copay for the dentist appointment. And so I just highlight those things in yellow so that I can easily see them. And then when I am going to my paycheck budget, I am actually going to start the paycheck budget for the second week. It doesn't make any sense for me to backtrack these expenses because the things have already cleared my account. So I will start with the upcoming paycheck budget for this upcoming week, and I'm adding in all of the expenses that are supposed to be paid this upcoming week. So everything that cleared in the very first week was all basically on auto pay. So since that was all auto pay, I just kind of am checking everything off, and now I'm writing in the additional expenses that are coming up for this week. Some of these are auto pay, some of the things I do have to pay. I do split my mortgage payment, and I've talked about this in past videos on how I like to split some of my bigger bills because it does help us overall with managing our money. I usually like to have the same amount of money set aside for groceries, gas, and other discretionary spending. And so splitting those bigger bills help me with that process. So a lot of times I will split our mortgage into 2 or 3 payments. So then that way I have more money set aside for groceries and gas and other things. And the last thing that I'm going to figure out on my paycheck budget is how much I'm going to save and how much I'm going to invest for this particular paycheck. So I started investing with Stackwell, and I've done a video on them before, but Stackwell is an investing app and it's passive investing. So I just keep my money in index funds, and you can actually move over as little as $10 a month, which is why I love it so much. And I will link them below because I do have an affiliate link. So I do believe if you do sign up with them, you get 20% off of your Stackwell account for a year. So if you're interested in that, I will put it in the description box. But that is something else that I will do within this process. I will see if I am moving 10, 20. My goal is always to try and move like $50 into my Stackwell account and to try and save $50 to $100 every single paycheck. So I will do both of these things, and then that is going to be it for my setup. I will be set up for the week, and I am currently set up for the month, and then I will write on my monthly budget and keep track of my expenses as I go. So this entire process probably took me about 45 minutes to do, and that is because I just wanted to be as thorough as I possibly could, and that way I know that I have everything in place and I can continue to check things off as I need to and just check in with my budget every single day. And the last step in this process is just to pack everything up. So I am doing the last minute touches in my budget planner. So my budget planner is off the screen. It's at the very top left if you could see that. But I will keep my budget planner, which is the 12-month undated, off to the side as I am updating my Tom 90 planner. And my Tom 90 planner just has the current month. And now I am just packing up all of my stickers, packing up my pen case, and we are ready to go for the month. So if you have been super late setting up your budget before, let me know in the comments. I would love to talk about it, but I hope that this video has helped you, and I will see you all in my next video. Until then, keep organizing your life so that you can achieve your dreams. Bye, guys.